So if I were to get a prenup, what should I include in it?
I think the easiest prenup is the one that I would encourage most people to have, which is, I call it the yours, mine, and ours. If it's in your name, asset or liability, you keep it. If it's in her name, asset or liability, she keeps it. If it's in joint names, you split it 50-50. That's it, clean. Here's what I'll tell you. Everybody, all three of you have a prenup. The government wrote it.
Oh, that's a bar. Because these guys are saying they didn't sign prenups before their marriage, right? Because they're all three married, apart from the black guy is not married. But they thought they didn't have a prenup. But the divorce lawyer is saying everyone signs a prenup. It's just that most people sign the prenup with the government. As soon as you sign that marriage contract, you're signing a prenup. Which means when it comes to the government can decide how they want you guys to split the assets. Whether you think it's fair or not, they're going to decide for you.
The state legislature wrote your fucking prenup. And by the way, like, you think that's a good idea? Like, you think, you ever been to the DMV?
Yeah.
You ever walk into the DMV and go, these people should be in charge of everything. Like, they're great at it. This is really good. But no, the reality is like the government is the worst fucking people to write your prenup.
To whom, though? To whom?
Well, the government is not in your house every single day. They don't know when your wife pisses you off. They don't know when you piss off your wife. They don't know when you guys have a fight. They don't know how hard you work. They don't know how many hours you put in every week. You know, they don't know how much daycare, how many bills you have to pay. You know, so they are not in your household. So no one outside of your household should be able to tell you how to split your assets. So he's saying you two are the best people to split your assets. And I agree. But I think the issue is most men don't know how to bring up the prenup talk to their women, because some women will say, so you don't trust me? You think I just want you for your money? So most guys just get, fearful of the conversation.
First to whom? To my wife or to me?
To
Both of you. Both of you. The process. You've signed up for a rule set that you don't even know.
I don't know.
Like you bought a house, right? You bought a house. You had to sign a HUD-1, a lead paint disclosure. You got all this fucking information about the loan. You got married. You can get a fucking pamphlet.
Yeah.
You just did the most legally significant thing you're going to do in your whole life other than die. And you have no fucking clue what happened. The first time you learned
big dick energy. That's what it's called.
I like the way the black guy is trolling them. The black guy on the other side, he's the only one who's not married. So they were clowning him for saying he's so scared. He's scared. He's a scared baby for not getting married and being worried a prenup. Now, after the divorce lawyer says you guys are dummies for, signing a marriage contract without knowing all the facts about what marriage constitutes, he's laughing at them. He's bringing back the fire, which is true. Most people marry for love. Oh, we are in love. Lovey-dovey Disney fantasy. But that shit ends at some point. The honeymoon phase is going to all go off. Who you marry 10 years later is going to be different. And I'm not married. So some of you guys are going to say, oh, how can you speak? You're not married. But I can speak on it because I'm human. Our feelings change. If your parents can be pissed off at you, what do you think a stranger who's your wife or husband is going to do 10 years down the road? People grow and change. So things are going to change. But if you have a prenup, that's something that you both signed, you agree, hey, listen, if things don't go our way, you take this, I take this, everyone will feel like it's a fair share.
I agree. Look at the documents. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
I'm going to take it.
More lead paint.
Translate that to going to Vegas and being like, I'm betting it all on black. How much? I don't know all of it. Go.
I would do that.
Fucking crazy.
I have and I've lost quite a few Bitcoin. So
it is crazy.
It is what it's
it is crazy. It is crazy. 100%.
Because my attitude is, look, all kidding aside, every marriage has a prenup. It's either one that's written by the government or it's written by the two people that like each other theoretically more than the other 8 billion other options, right?
Right.
So who is better to come up with a rule set than those two people? And that's all a prenup is. A prenup is just saying, look, there's going to come a time, like if you get married, it's smart to say to your spouse, when you're getting along still, that we're going to get in a fight at some point. I promise. It's probably going to be my fault. I'm going to say some dumb shit. I say dumb shit. It happens.
Yeah.
When we get in that fight, what should that look like? Do you need a minute? Should I give you some space? Like, if I force you to talk about it, is it going to turn into a whole thing? Or do we need to take care of this now because you don't want to go to bed angry? Like, I want to know. Because the worst time to learn how to fight It's when you're in a fucking fight. Like, that's the worst time to learn how to do a fight.
Yeah.
So that's all a prenup is. A prenup is saying, look, we're getting along right now. We have an abundance of goodwill between the two of us. If, God forbid, in the highly unlikely 56 fucking percent, the highly unlikely chance that we would get divorced, what would that look like? And by the way, there's a way to say it that I think has a tremendous amount of big dick energy, which is to say, you know what? You're my woman. I want you to feel safe.
Yeah, like
you can't feel loved unless you feel safe. And the way I want you to feel safe, the way I want you to feel safe is I want you to feel safe from everyone, including me. So what is
dumb do you think our
owe
wives
each other?
So I think most guys struggle with that. You know, most guys are caught up in the love, honeymoon stage phase, and they think, listen, if I bring up the prenup talk, she may change, she may leave me, she may stop loving me because she's gonna say I don't trust her. She's gonna say, how can you think I'm a gold digger? I just want you for your money. But the divorce lawyer, he has the experience. He's saying that's actually the best time to talk about a prenup. Hey, listen, babe, you came with your stuff, you did your 2 cars, I came with my bike, I'll take my bike, you take your 2 cars. That's all he's saying. But most people, most guys, because at the end of the day, men are the ones who are going to bring up the talk of a prenup most times. You know what I mean? So, but I think, like I said, in my opinion, most guys are scared. They're scared the woman is going to leave them or lose interest or stop loving them because it comes off as you don't trust me. It comes off as, so you think we're going to get divorced, we're going to break up kind of mentality,
Well, I mean, to marry you.
She's like, I got this simp.
Yeah. Actual question, yours, mine, and ours. How does that go once you're married? Everything's just going to go ours, right? You're going to buy the house, it's going to be our name. You're going to buy the cars, it's going to be our name.
Conversation you got to have. Like, look, you know this as a married man. If you can't have difficult conversations with your spouse, don't get fucking married. Like part of being married is having hard conversations, talking about tough stuff.
Personally?
Yeah.
Let's say you and your wife are both working. Wife decides to not work to raise the child.
Sure, common.
And maybe I'm telling you how I feel without asking you how you feel.
Okay.
But like, there's a part of me that goes, okay, well, first of all, anything, I don't have a prenup, obviously, so anything that we own is both of ours. But like, I think that if she's going to make that sacrifice and that decision, I think she's entitled to half of everything.
Who would disagree with you?
Okay, good. Because I think there's sometimes people.
Totally fair.
Okay. And I think sometimes people are like, well, if you're making the money, that's all you. It's like,
Right.
yeah, but you're able to do that because somebody's looking after the child.
Right.
Now, there's circumstances, like your guys' circumstances, they don't have a kid yet, right? So like he's making money and, your wife could be making money. So he might have an argument to go, well, I'm going to keep all of this because you could be working.
Yeah.
But I do think once you add children into the mix, there's a very different.
But I totally agree, and I think any reasonable person would. But just to push back on that thought a little bit.
Yep.
What I would say to you is, okay, but there's got to be a stop loss somewhere in there, right? Like
What
there's got to be some sense of like, what is that obligation? Because look, at the end of the day, we all owe each other things when we make decisions like this.
Oh,
right?
you're saying at
like
a certain
in some
number.
ways, you wouldn't have the success you have if it wasn't for your wife.
Absolutely.
She supported you. She helped build. Okay, absolutely.
Yeah.
Your wife wouldn't be the person she is if it wasn't for her mother.
Sure.
So what do you owe her mother? How much?
I think at least half.
Okay. Her mother wouldn't be the person she was if it wasn't for her mother.
She
So how
needs
much
half
do we
to.
owe grandma?
She needs half
Okay,
to.
so the math on this gets a little fuzzy.
They all need half.
So the reality is
Everybody.
Look, I think fundamentally,
Yeah, they need half of her.
value is an important thing. I just watched your special, and I got a huge kick out, especially as a divorce lawyer, the shit we laugh at. But when you said the thing about, we made
a baby.
We made a baby, and you're like, oh, just like we made this money, like it's our money. Like, okay, look, at the end of the day, we know you earn more than her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why do we have to be afraid to say that out loud? Like, marriage is an economy.
Yeah.
That's not a dirty word. An economy is we're exchanging value.
Yeah.
We're giving and receiving. And an economy does not require that everyone gives and receives the exact same fucking thing.
Right.
You can say, like Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, without Steve Wozniak, Steve Jobs would have a lot of cool ideas he couldn't do shit with.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak would be a dude in his garage making shit but have no vision. So together they brought something to fruition. Same thing with the marriage.
Yeah, I think most, like I said, I think most guys are okay with marriage. They are just scared of their lives being turned upside down. Because the guy will buy a house when he's single, find a woman, get married, the woman moves in, they have kids. When they get divorced, guess who's kicked out and become homeless? The man from the house he had before the wife. So most guys are scared of that. But I think, like he said, I think if you have a wife, she's been home the whole time, you've been working, she's been taking care of the kids. Yeah, she should get something, and that something usually comes through child support, But it shouldn't be, because some states apparently you have to pay alimony to your ex-wife, even if she gets another man to come into your house that you bought before you met her. You're still paying alimony as she brings new men in your house to clap her cheeks. So most guys, when think about that, they're like, no, 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 no. You mean to tell me I'm going to keep paying you money to stay in the house that I bought, but you can still bring new men to clap your cheeks in the same house? So when guys think about that, they're like, no, it's not a fair deal.
No question.
The